piece of advice that I have for you here is probably one that you are sick to death of hearing, but just wait for it. Hear me out. I'm going to recommend, as a timely piece of advice, that you take up tarot journaling. Now, the reason for this is because it is a wonderful way of absolutely witnessing with your own eyes your tarot progress. So take a journal. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Of course, if you want it to be fancy, it absolutely can. If you, like me, are a paper snob, go for it. This is the permission that you need to buy that Japanese paper, that dot grid, that beautiful fountain pen. If that's what you need, I give you that full permission. But honestly, when it comes to recording your readings, recording your insights, collecting information, a tarot journal becomes more than just a journal. It becomes a tarot workbook. It is something that can accompany you along your journey. And you can finish one journal and start another, and you can look at it in terms of volume over time. And the beautiful thing about that is you have your own tarot references. When you stick with this for as long as I have, you have so many pieces of timely tarot information, advice that technically shows you just how far you've come, how far you've grown, and the type of tarot reader that you are becoming. There are many different types of tarot readers out there, but it's important to follow your own personal tarot evolution and to honor the thoughts, feelings, and practices that are most attuned to who you are as a person. And over time, you are going to be able to develop your own style, and you are going to be able to witness that development more acutely through your tarot journal. So that is my first piece of advice. Get yourself a tarot journal. It is such a worthwhile tool to have as you are learning your tarot, as you are developing your style, and as you are growing as a tarot reader. The second piece of tarot advice that I have for you is to start small and stay consistent. Now, it's very easy to get swept away with all the enthusiasm and the excitement when you first encounter tarot, and when it first starts to feel as though it's sinking in. Like, that's an exciting time, and I respect that fully. The vibe is high. During that period, the vibe is definitely high. But the most important thing is to remain as calm throughout your journey as possible. Now, that may seem a little bit counterintuitive, but what I mean by calm is don't overwhelm yourself. You may see one deck, one book, one spread, and want to do it all at once. Take it little by little, little bites at a time. Get into your tarot practice. Remain consistent. Start simple. Pull a card every day. Journal about it. If one card isn't your thing, then 3 cards. Do a little 3-card spread and journal about it and sit with it and try to connect with the wisdom of the tarot and build up a daily practice each and every day. Tarot is a wonderful tool for meditation. It's a wonderful tool for focus. It's a wonderful tool for manifestation. So just by working with the tarot each and every day, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be reading the card every day. You can be working with the energies of a tarot card each and every day, should you choose to do so. And so, back to what I was saying in my first piece of advice, tarot journal. But second is to stay consistent. Keep it steady, keep it small to begin with. Don't overwhelm yourself. Tarot is enormous. It is absolutely enormous. It is complex, it is intricate, it's a big thing. So tread carefully, don't overwhelm yourself. Stay calm, take small bites of the pie, and stay consistent. Show up each and every day, and before long, you will find for yourself that you are starting to really assimilate. You are really starting to get what the tarot is trying to tell you. You really start to understand the nuance of the tarot by working with it every day, by staying consistent and keeping it short, sweet, small. You are going to grow in a much more beautiful, natural way. The third piece of advice that I have for you here is friends and family. Lean in to this incredibly valuable resource that is your friends and family. Now, I understand that not everybody has the type of family, the type of friends that would openly accept a tarot reading being offered to them, and I respect that. But there are other ways in which you can offer readings for feedback, because this is a truly valuable resource to have. If you have the type of relationship with a person that you can practice your tarot reading, your tarot style on, the feedback that you will get from that is it's invaluable. It is invaluable. It really does give a great insight to who you are as a reader, how you're coming across in a tarot reading, how you can improve, how you can streamline and refine. It is such valuable information to possess. So there are options for those of you who don't have, accepting or willing participants as far as friends and family go, but there are communities out there designed for this type of thing. So find them. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on YouTube, they're on Twitter, they're on all the platforms. And just find someone that is willing to give you a little bit of feedback. Friends and family are better if you have the opportunity to put that into use, because they are going to tell you how it is. They are going to be honest with you. But so too will a stranger on the internet, so fair's fair. But that one piece of advice is worth its weight in gold. You need to know how you are as a reader. And the only way to measure that is by doing readings. It's not enough to read 100 books on tarot. You have to put that 100-book volume of knowledge into practice. If you don't put that into practice, then it just sits in your mind. And that is it. You need to make sure that you are putting into practice what it is that you are learning. And in order to do that, you need to do readings. But in the beginning, it can be very nerve-wracking, and I understand that. So reach into friends, family, and strangers on the internet as well. But practice, because your feedback model is there for a reason, and it's going to make you such a better tarot reader. My fourth piece of advice is mix it up a bit, and I'm specifically referring to your tarot decks. Now, many of us already have a small collection of tarot cards, and the reason why I say this is because everyone in the internet says, have a deck for learning and have a deck for yourself, at least two. And it doesn't really matter if you have 5, if you have 10, if you have 3, if you have 100. The fact of the matter is, a little diversity, a little eclecticism within your collection can work wonders. Every tarot deck gives you a different perspective. I like to personally anthropomorphize my decks so they each have a personality, and I have discovered over time that that works for me. You might feel differently. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, when you work with several different decks, you are going to get several different perspectives simply because the voice of the deck is different, the artwork in the deck is different, the symbolism in the deck is different, and so on and so forth. So mix it up a little bit. Borrow decks if you can. Share with your friends if you have the type of friends that also have tarot in their lives. You might be able to play with some of their decks and try out a little mix and match, because by changing it up every so often, it doesn't have to be every day, but every so often, you are going to find that your ability to interpret the art improves exponentially. You are also going to understand the voice of each card more clearly when it is presented in several different outfits, so to speak. And so that in itself strengthens your ability to truly read the art, to truly read the cards, and to truly read tarot in general. So mix it up. It's a great excuse to have more than one deck. Personally, I believe that it is important to have a study deck. I would recommend the Rider-Waite-Smith or the Thoth, but the Rider-Waite-Smith is arguably the most popular deck out there. Yes, you have the Marseille, and many readers are ride or die Marseille readers. Many readers are ride or die Thoth readers. I personally prefer the Rider-Waite-Smith, and you will find more information on the Rider-Waite-Smith in books in general, so to speak. You specifically need to find a book on Marseille to learn Marseille, but you can buy a Tali Goodwin or a Marcus Katz book or a Rachel Pollack or a Mary Kate Greer book or a Kim Huggins book, and they will all surround their information around that beautiful Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. So have one deck that you can learn with, that you're not frightened to get a little bit messy, that you can write on if that's your bag. I have one such deck. And then have another one that really speaks to you, one that you feel has a more generalized idea. One deck for, say, love reading, something that's a little bit more romantic. So build up a little repertoire. It doesn't have to be ridiculous. I'm a collector. You don't need to be a collector. It's more about playing around with different personalities in your deck. So mix it up as much as you can. Of course, you need to have the means to do this, but there are tarot swap and sells, there are tarot exchange groups. There are so many ways that you can get your hands on some beautiful decks just to try them out and see how they work for you. It's so good to be able to exercise that component within your tarot practice. So give it a go. I'm not trying to promote excess or consumerism here, but I am saying that the more you play with different styles of decks, the better the reader you will be, because your ability to interpret art along with the core meaning of each card will strengthen over time because you are exercising that particular muscle, if you know what I mean. Okay, my fifth piece of tarot advice is to create a routine. Now, this can look like anything. It can be a routine to study your tarot books. It could be a routine for you to read your tarot for the day. It could be a routine for you to unpack a specific card for meditation or path working. Whatever it might be, and you can mix it up, absolutely, but whatever it might be, create a routine. Make it a part of your daily practice. Be quite consistent about this. Because what happens is, over time, you start to include tarot in your everyday, and then you start to live and breathe your tarot practice. It becomes great for reflection. It becomes fantastic for when you are at your very beginnings when it comes to tarot. If you are just new to tarot and you are learning, then building that routine becomes fundamental to the experience. Every day, read a portion of a book. Every day, do a bit of journaling. Every day, pull a card. Every day, do a meditation. And it doesn't have to be an hour of a routine. It could be something as simple as, okay, I'm going to read a paragraph today. I'm going to pull a card and have a little think about it. Or I might close my eyes and I might try to connect with it in a meditative capacity. You can set a timer to this. You can do every day for 5 minutes, every day for 10 minutes, mornings at 5 a.m. for 5 minutes. It doesn't matter what you do or how you set it up. The most important thing is that it fits into your life comfortably without any kind of stickiness. And if it doesn't, change it up again, move it around a little bit. Because touching the tarot every day, it's a touchstone, if you will. That's my analogy anyway. Touching the tarot every day makes you a better reader. It puts it into the forefront of your mind. You will move through your day and you will look at the world through the lens of tarot. You will start to tarot talk, i.e., that was such a 3 of Cups moment, or that was such a 7 of Wands moment. You know, you'll be able to identify because it's at the forefront of your mind. It's right there because you are there with it every single day. It's like planting a seed and nurturing it. That is what learning tarot is all about. So you plant that seed and every day you show up to talk to it, to nurture it, to water it, to feed it, to make sure that it's growing, to weed the garden around it. It doesn't really matter. Show up in whichever capacity feels right to you. It could be at the end of the day. You could be laying in bed. That's when you decide to crack open a tarot book. Or that's when you decide to just hop on YouTube and do a little tarot pathworking meditation. Or that's when you decide that you're going to put your card by your bedside table until some information about it pops up in your subconscious. It doesn't matter how you do this. Please understand this. It's important that you do it. It doesn't matter how you choose to do it. But the most important thing is Create that beautiful tarot routine for yourself. And routines can change over time. If you feel like you've started off strong with 5 minutes every day and that just doesn't seem long enough, add another 5 minutes. You don't have to overwhelm yourself. Remember, keep it simple, but keep it consistent. That was number 2, right? But having that routine firmly in place is going to help you to build a good foundation within your tarot practice, structurally speaking. Every day is an opportunity to learn something new. Every day is an opportunity to learn something new about tarot. Simples. Okay, so my 6th piece of advice and my final piece of advice is it is a marathon, not a sprint. I cannot emphasize this enough. Take your time with the tarot. I give you full permission to take as long as you need as you are learning the tarot. It is unrealistic to set timers or to cap yourself for whatever reason as you are learning the tarot. It is unrealistic to believe that you can learn the tarot in 30 minutes. I know that people sell courses and workshops that say, I can teach you the tarot in 30 minutes. I don't believe that to be true, but that's neither here nor there. Tarot is enormous. It is massive. It is intricate. It is complex. It takes people years to master the tarot. So what makes somebody think that they can teach you the mastery component of tarot in 30 minutes? In 30 minutes? It's laughable. It's actually quite laughable. But that aside, it is a marathon, not a sprint. We all learn differently. We are all built to consume information and digest that information in various different manners. It doesn't matter how you learn, it's important that you do learn. So take your time with it. Digest it slowly. Move through it carefully, consciously. Remain focused. Remain consistent. It is a marathon. It's not a sprint. There is absolutely no need to rush. You are not competing with anyone else. This is you as yourself on your tarot journey. And that's the most beautiful thing, is honor your own personal journey when it comes to tarot. Because it's going to build you, it's going to make you or transform you into an incredible reader. If you can be patient and consistent, and you can honor the way in which you personally learn, if you can work with the decks that you personally like, you've got a style. You're nuanced already, and therefore you are much more likely to be a really, really solid tarot reader. So don't race. It's not a race. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And with that said, we've come to the end of the video. I hope that you have enjoyed it. I have very much enjoyed spending this time with you. I hope I've been able to give you something to think about. And if you're a little bit more interested in something else, I created a video last week with 10 tarot tips perfect for the beginner and the intermediate reader. So I'll link it up here somewhere. You can go and watch that. But in the meantime, I want you to sit with this piece of advice, these 6 pieces of advice actually, and see where it takes you, see how it feels. Because I honestly believe that sometimes the most practical pieces of advice are the most worthwhile. I haven't said anything outrageous in this video, but I hope that what I have said has landed well with you and that it helps you along your way. And with all of that said and done, I'm wishing you so much love, luck, peace and joy. Take care of yourself, and I will chat to you again soon. Mwah! Bye!